Good evening. It is Lisa again. I hope you guys can hear me. Um, yeah, that should be good. Anyway, good evening. It's Lisa again, back with the second part of my paranormal story family hour. As I stated before, if you watched the video from last night, this event took place to me or to us as a family with me and my kids, and it mainly revolved around my younger daughter, her behavior during that time that we were living in that apartment. I spoke last time about a presence that she was seeing in the like near in the bedroom or my bedroom door. I spoke about an event that took place where I walked out of the kitchen, and she was in the kitchen asking for a snack, and when I came back, she was sitting on top of the counter. There was definitely something there, a presence there that she was picking up on. At the time, I wasn't under like a lot of stress or anything like that. I was working on my book. It is the apartment that I was living in when I completed my book, but there was no heavy stress, around me or anything like that. I was practicing or conducting like a lot of spell work, but it was mainly around like my finances and, trying to get us out of that apartment and that particular situation. It wasn't a bad place to live, but I just wanted something a lot more, just a little bit more active for the kids. It was so small, there was nothing to do. There wasn't even a movie theater. There was like a Walmart and a few restaurants and things like that. It was just so small. But it was quiet and nice neighborhood, no activity or anything like that. But there were other small little things that, behaviors that my youngest daughter would do. Um, and there was a particular game or activity that she would all have us participate in with her. And the first time I thought it was cute, but she would have us all sit in an area of the house in a circle, and she would give us these instructions. She would be like, okay, mommy, you bark like a dog. And then she would tell my other daughter, you clap your hands. And then we would all just go around the circle and do whatever activity, she wanted us to do, like whatever instruction she gave us. And I thought, oh, well, that's cute, the first time. And then she did it again. And there was, you know, one night that she did it. Those sound like fireworks. um, there was one night that my daughter is in here with me. I'm in the living room with me again. This is our little hangout spot. This is our another reason why I'm calling this family hours. This is like when we kind of hang out with each other, and I cook dinner and we'll watch a show, and the little ones will run around a little bit or do their thing. But what was I saying? Yeah, she. There was one particular night where we played her game where we all sat in a circle, and she would give us these instructions. But I noticed that she kept looking towards the bedroom door again, and almost like if we did what she told us to do while we were in this circle, whatever was there would go away. So I thought, well, that's interesting, and of course, me being me, I had went through all of the, cleansing the house and, saying prayers, and I did like a floor wash and I cleansed the floor and everything, and wiped everything down to make sure that I was just keeping good, a good vibration and a good frequency going, in the apartment. And I would do that often anyway. And then there was another time where she had us play the circle game, where she had all of us sit in the kitchen this time. It had to be in the kitchen. I asked her, I thought, well, don't you want to sit out here, maybe in a bigger space in like the living room? And she's like, no, we had to sit in the kitchen. And so we all sit down in the kitchen, and she starts giving us instructions, Mommy, you quack like a duck. Now moo like a cow. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody. And she was looking towards the laundry room. We had a small little laundry room, and she kept looking towards the laundry room door. And when I looked up slightly out of the corner of my eye, I could see something black like go into it, looked like hair, like black hair, go into the ceiling, like something that came out and went up. And I thought, okay, she is definitely seeing something in this apartment. And I remember after that happened, there weren't any real, major. I upped the cleansing and all of that, but I remember like the lock on the front door broke. We had to get that fixed. And then I remember for some I was doing a lot of baking when we were in this, a lot of cooking and a lot of baking. I was in like some weird phase where I just wanted to make cookies and pies. I guess it was because I had the time to really actually, take my time and study it and read through a recipe. And I would bake, goodies and sweeties all the time. But there was one time where I made like like pumpkin bread and cookies, and I think I had been baking that whole day, and there was like a really sweet aroma. And I had, like I said, I make, goodies all the time, but our apartment got swarmed with bees. It was so bad that we had to leave and stay someplace else for the night. They were, it was swarmed. They were everywhere. And we had to, get somebody out to come and check to clear them out. And it was strange. I had never had that happen. I actually ended up having a dream like a month or two after that. My apartment in my dream got swarmed with bees, and my kids were so scared. I thought I saw one, and by the time I saw one, when by the time we walked out of that apartment, they were everywhere. Even weeks after, I kept finding like little bee bodies like everywhere. And I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. That we went, I cook all the time. I make sweeties all the time. I make cakes and, pies and stuff all the time. But I don't know, every time you see everything as a spiritual sign, you try not to, because not everything is, something spiritual. But, in this case, because of what was going on, I do feel like that there probably was just some type of, enlightenment to us as a family. We did end up moving um, we moved to a bigger town in a different apartment and stuff like that. Um, but and nothing has occurred since then. The little one has not seen anything since then or felt anything. She's older now in her own little world. But yeah, that that was another event that took place to us as a family. I don't know that I have any more paranormal stories. I always say that, and then I remember, something else. I almost forgot this one, but I'm pretty sure like my kids, they might uh, remember something that happened. I'm thinking about the last apartment. Um, that now that I'm thinking about it, I do have another story. Um, in a dream actually that took place as well that I think is quite interesting. But thank you guys so much for listening. For those that have been watching, and you all have a beautiful night. And please be safe tomorrow if you choose to celebrate. Good night.